Crypto is like finance, but different. It doesn't care when you invest, trade, or save. Do it on weekends, or at 5 a.m., or on Christmas Day at 5 a.m. Crypto is finance for everyone, everywhere, all the time. Visit kraken.com/see-what-crypto-can-be to learn more. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. Cryptocurrency services are provided to U.S. and U.S. territory customers by Payward Ventures, Inc. View PVI's disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures.
Anthem Blue Cross and Common Threads are helping schools across the country learn about healthier food preparation. And here in LA, they're joined by the Sparks and will provide education, recipes, and knowledge to students and families about healthier options. Learn more at anthem.com/ca/sparks. Anthem Blue Cross is the trade name of Blue Cross of California.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. What's going on, everybody? It's Monday. We're a day late again. This is becoming a new thing.
I know, right?
I'm Gigi. What's going on, Fruit Loop?
Oh, candy Easter weekend overload.
Yeah, same. But it was a really, really good weekend.
Yeah, it was.
It was nice. It was busy.
It was busy. I think I need a vacation but then we started in spring break, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guess who forgot to turn off their 6:30 alarm on the first day of spring break? This girl.
I was going to say, it's not me.
Yeah, I was snoozing this morning, and I heard that awful sound, and I thought, I don't even have kids at home. Why is this happening?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So you guys had a good Easter, yeah?
Yeah, we did.
That's awesome.
Ate, hunted Easter eggs and all that fun stuff.
Came over to my family's house last night, ate some more.
I'm going to tell you. Grammy's potato salad.
Oh, my gosh.
Top notch.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a bowl in the fridge.
I had a bowl in the fridge.
Past tense.
Had, yes. And I'm not eating carbs, but I broke my no carb eating for the not banana pudding, but that's on my mind.
Yeah.
For the potato salad.
Yeah. So we are well fed, and I had leftovers today, which I think they're better the next day. Some things are.
Oh, yeah.
Like this kind of food, we had ham and potato salad, and my parents make the best mac and cheese.
They do.
It's baked. And then what else do we have?
Your mom's mashed potatoes are good too.
Yeah, everything my mom makes is good.
Yeah.
So we want to give a quick shout out to Mikhail and say
hey,
hello.
Mikhail.
She's one of our earliest listeners, and she's very young.
Yeah.
But she's really smart and sweet, and we just love her to pieces. So
yeah,
what's
when
up,
we
girl?
were in the other room in the closet, she was one of the first people that reached out to us.
Yes. So she is our girl. And a big shout out to my uncle's business, Four Seasons Woodworking, for custom making us a brand new podcast table.
Oh, yeah. It's so nice.
It's very nice. Huge.
It's like a Cadillac.
Yeah. I could lay down and my feet still wouldn't touch the end.
Yeah. It's so relaxing in here now.
It's cool because we got this ambient lighting and LEDs, and then you got these cool neons to put under the table.
Yeah. It's cool. I love it.
So we just, we got this nice little setup, and this is our first episode with our all new equipment.
Yeah.
So we hope you guys can tell a little bit of a difference.
We hope. Please don't say.
If you say it's
Sounds
worse or bad, I'm
horrible.
going to go like.
Turn it up.
Yeah. So we're going to jump in. Billy Wagner in the Roden murder case, the Pike County massacre, the one we're following where 7 members of the same family were killed in one night. He had a hearing today.
Uh-oh.
So apparently his lawyers want to challenge the ballistic evidence and the shoe print evidence that they plan on bringing into this trial.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. For real. So they've asked for a pretrial hearing to hear these issues. And the argument is that they don't want the ballistics in because they say the gun hasn't been found and you can't link the ballistics to the murders. And they also said that the shell casings that were found on their property had been out in the elements for a year or over a year.
I'm going out on a limb here, and we have people that will reach out to us on YouTube, and you guys are awesome. I cannot remember your name, but I'm pretty sure striations in the bullet I mean, I wouldn't think rust would change that, would it?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the FBI was involved in this, so
Yeah.
you have to throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and hope something sticks.
Yeah.
Because apparently this evidence here, as far as we know, now we know they always hold their ace up their sleeve for trial, but there's not a lot of DNA evidence against the Wagners in this case. And we learned that at there was a hearing for reduced bail, I believe, for the oldest brother. And that just didn't, it didn't work. But they also admitted that, at least for him, they didn't have any DNA or fingerprint evidence for him at any of the scenes. So I guess for Dad, if you can get these two things thrown out, it might put some reasonable doubt in the jury's mind. That's the only reason I can think. And the other thing that they're going to challenge is the shoe print evidence, and saying that they don't have the actual shoes, only the pictures. But the prosecution came back and said that the Supreme Court has ruled in past cases that this type of science is reliable. So I don't think they'll get very far with this at all.
Yeah, I would think so. All you got to do is go buy a pair of shoes, because they know they came from Walmart, right?
Yeah, they did. And you have Angela on surveillance buying the shoes, and then they also found that receipt in Jake Wagner's truck in a box labeled important stuff. So
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go back on the bullet thing. If it was totally rusted, I could see where the striations wouldn't match. But
even that, I mean, rust, you can kind of scrape it off. I'm sure they have techniques to remove something to where they can. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a crime scene investigator.
Somebody shoot us a message.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
And then the other thing was the prosecution wants to photograph one of his tattoos, and the defense isn't fighting it, but the jail where he's being held, they've asked for a court order. And his lawyers also said that he's frustrated by the lack of progress in the case, which these murders happened years ago. I mean, I think we're looking at, was it 2000, 5-6 years, I think. So I can understand.
Okay, I have a question. And I think they do this everywhere. Don't they photograph all your tattoos when you go into jail?
You would think so.
I think I've watched that before, that they do, so they can identify. I think if you're, I don't know if it's gang related or whatever, but I just think they document all of that stuff.
They do. And I know that he has one tattoo that I've seen in mainstream media mentioned a good bit that can be linked to white supremacy. So I don't know if it's that one or who knows. So what's going on Wednesday in the Vallow Daybell case?
We have a status conference for Chad on Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern. That's us. Eastern Standard Time. It's 1:30 Mountain Standard Time. Will Chad show up?
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't been seen in quite a while. We know that Lori won't show because as far as we know, her hearings are still paused.
Yeah.
Which I think, I was thinking about charges. Why haven't we seen them yet? Because I mistakenly said a couple of weeks ago, by the end of the week, we'll have them. And I was wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm sure getting the new prosecutor up to speed, you've got to make sure she's on the same page with the evidence and the charges that Rob Wood is thinking about putting forth. So I'm sure that takes time, but maybe we might not get charges until whatever is keeping her from attending hearings or having Mark Means argue for her at hearings, they're paused. Could it be that we're going to wait on that?
Yeah. Okay. So my other question is, didn't they open courts back up?
They did in Idaho.
And I'm just wondering, why are we still doing Zoom?
I think actually it was grand juries.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I'm not sure if it was
can't
actual
remember.
juries. I mean, for this, I don't know. I almost feel like this is probably easier in a lot of ways. I've said since COVID, we're going to find a lot of different things can be done remotely.
Yeah, but I want to see him.
Same.
I want to see him squirm.
We haven't seen Lori in months.
Yeah.
Not sure what's up
She
with
gonna
that.
come out. She gonna look totally different.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, the gray's definitely taken over. The roots grow out. I know how fast that happens. I had my hair colored 4 weeks ago, and my little gray hairs are poking through the top of my head right now again.
Yeah, you got initials on yours, though. Yeah. They're all... I don't have any gray hair, so I'm good.
What is up with you? You and your mom both. Neither one of you guys are gray at all.
Yeah, no, it's redheads.
Yeah, I was redheaded as a kid. I just got darker as I got older.
See, I was darker as a kid and got lighter when I got older, but it's not great. And my mom's 60. Wait.
You better be very careful here.
She don't listen anyway. So. Yeah,
boom.
I know, right? She's almost 70, and she's not gray. She
Not at all.
wishes she was gray, but she's not.
Well, she could buy it in a box.
Yeah.
But, the one thing I was looking at is nothing has been filed in this case since March 25th. So it's been a hot minute since anything's been filed.
That's odd.
It is odd. So we'll see what happens.
Normally Means is yelling about something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So Saturday marked 3 years since the date of Joe Ryan's passing, or what they sort of estimate to be his date of passing.
Yeah.
And so I thought about him a little bit that day. And so 3 years. I know it's tough for Annie and everybody who knew Joe.
Yeah. I still think it's just crazy that they didn't know anything going into that and couldn't have saved something that could have, his cause of death and all.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, well, they did say parts of tissue, but
yeah.
I mean, it's been a few years now, so who knows? I mean, they opened it again and they closed it, so apparently there's just nothing there.
Yeah, it's too bad.
But I think that his and Alex's death, especially with this body cam footage and pouring through it, man, it's just so hard to believe this was a coincidence.
Yeah.
Both of them, but it is what it is.
Look, I'm going to say, I have laughed over here today because you got them earphones in.
Oh, my goodness.
One, I could call you a barf-encrusted jumbo jerk and you would never hear me. Literally one time I was talking, it was like crickets, and I said, oh, she's got those headphones in.
I can't hear nothing with them on.
No, you can't. But the funny thing is when you get the from the police stuff, I can hear that.
Oh, yeah, and I've got them jammed in my ear. And, okay, so the body cam footage that we're going to go over tonight, it is a lot more muffled than the last one, so you have to really strain your brain to hear. And so half the time, not only do I have on these noise-canceling AirPods, I have my fingers pushing them into my ear canal as far as I can physically get them in. And then this set of footage has more of the beep, beep. And let's add in a yapping dog.
I'm going to tell you, I don't remember who the lady was that reached out to us on YouTube, but it was funny because she was having to do the same thing. Was it, I can't think who it was. But she was having the same issue.
It was Kiara Reich.
Yes.
Is it Kiara Reich?
I think that's what it is. It was funny because she was having the same thing happen.
Yeah, she commented a couple of times and shout out to her because we love talking to her on YouTube. She's so funny.
Yeah.
So just a little disclaimer. What we're saying that was heard on the tapes, I have literally had to rewind pretty much anything that was recognizable 3 or 4 times just to get full sentences. It's taken me all day.
Yeah.
And I've done my best, but this is what I heard. This is not from a transcript. This is not verbatim. It's just me and my earbuds on max volume getting mild shocks every 2.5 minutes.
You're going to have a complex. You're going to hear a beep somewhere and you're going to
I know. I'm going to have PTSD from the beeps.
Yes.
So if there are any mistakes, it's on me. I did the best I could, but I think I have a really good grip on what I got to, the point I got to today.
Yeah. But our listeners are awesome reaching out, and they don't do it in a negative way. They just say, hey, this is what I heard, or whatever. But
yeah,
they do really good if we mess up. So
teamwork makes the dream work.
That's exactly right.
We are not too proud to beg for help. So if you hear something that you think I got wrong, let me know.
Yeah,
because we definitely don't want to be wrong in any of this. We're just But it is a lot to do. But at the same time, we have found a few little nuggets in this.
Oh yeah,
with the talk in the background, there's been some things I have found that were surprising.
Yeah. So, So you ready to jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this footage starts upstairs, and we've covered some of this previously from another officer's perspective.
And if you want to watch this is video 4 on our YouTube, and it is 1 hour and 28 minutes.
Or if you rewind it 5 times,
it's 5 hours.
5 hours and 72 minutes.
It's like watching Titanic twice.
Yes. That is a long movie.
I may have a bed sore after sitting here all day.
That's a long movie. So we know that even while Alex is laying on the floor in the bathroom, that investigators were aware of him and were on their way to the house.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I don't know if maybe everybody in Gilbert was sort of aware of investigator-wise, but they're still doing CPR on him in the house, and the cop says they're on their way.
Wow. Yeah. So Zulima's daughter, Megan, was on FaceTime with Kara. She tells the caller that Jose is picking up Zulima from the hospital, and Kara said they were on their way but were 40 minutes out. And we think her daughter says she isn't leaving.
Yeah, it was pretty clear, obviously, from the last body cam footage that they didn't want the cops in the house because they asked him to stand outside. And the cops were like, yeah, not going to happen, but yeah. So it was clear that they were not going to leave that house. They stayed downstairs so far from where I am, they have been downstairs.
Yeah. This is like one of the times I'm like, yes. Yeah, they got it. But we know red flags were everywhere by this time. So
definitely.
Yep. So Megan talks in the background for a while. You can't hear what's being said, really.
Yeah. And so she gets a call, and you can hear her say, my mom's boyfriend died. And again, it's the boyfriend. So apparently none of her kids knew that she was married.
Well, they didn't get the photo package in Vegas, so maybe there was no photos up on the walls.
I just find it odd that you don't tell your family that you're married. Even the kid that lives in the house with you and Alex doesn't know that you're married. It's so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
It almost seems like more of an arrangement.
Yeah, why are you hiding it?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm married in Vegas, I would tell my kids, hey, I got married. But first of all, my kids would be there.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yep. Yeah, that's just weird.
It is very weird. So she kind of tells the caller the sequence of events that Joseph gets a text to check on Alex, and then Zulima gets the text to check on Alex, and then she calls Joseph, and he finds him on the floor not breathing. So she kind of goes through that sequence.
Yeah.
And then she gets another call and switches over to that one. And she says she's with Joseph and they're all right. And she asks the caller if they've been in contact with Zulima. And she says, have you talked to her since then? She says Kara is on her way with her dad and she didn't want to drive because she was crying. And they mentioned something about carpooling. And then she says, we're here. The cops are here. It's all roped off. There's an investigator I talked to and they're getting a warrant now. She says, we're sitting on the couch. They're waiting for a warrant, so we'll be here a while. They're sitting in the room with us. The detective came inside and introduced himself. Just call Mom and give her an update so she's not nervous that you're not there yet. So I'm wondering if it can't be Kara. I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah. Well, that's the cop's job, is to be in the room with you.
Right.
That's the point. So we don't know what's in that house, but they have to observe and keep an eye on you so you don't destroy evidence.
Exactly. And the cops made very clear, you can sit down here, and throughout this video, they go to the right, which is, I think, the kitchen. But the cop says you can't go upstairs. And that's where he died, so I assume if they're looking for anything,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
she gets another call and speaks Spanish. A third call comes in and she says, hello, what kind of in an annoyed way?
Yeah. So I tried to get a translator on my phone, but the audio's far enough away to where the translator wouldn't pick it up. If you are Spanish speaking, I can post the time. And if you could tell us what this says, then that would be great. But then when she switched over to that other call, she's like, hello. And then she says, what? Which is kind of how my kids talk to each other on the phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What do you want?
She sounded annoyed.
Yeah. Huh. So she asked the officer, is there a reason it's so dark there? And he tells him they can turn on the light if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to sit in the dark.
Yeah.
Dude, that's in every one of these cop shows that you watch on TV.
Yeah.
They use a flashlight in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, flip the light switch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know. if you're a cop, why do you go in with a flashlight?
I guess you don't want to have to take your eyes away from straight ahead to look on the wall for a light switch. I don't know. That's just my hunch.
Oh,
But that light's bright. If it's dark in there and you shine it in a perpetrator's eyes, I don't think he's going to move. I mean,
yeah.
so when I had that big police flashlight, my daughter shined it in my eyes. I couldn't see for a week.
Purple dots.
So at this point, guys, there was this little yappy dog barking nonstop, and my ears were just screaming uncle. So I had the beep beep and the and then the rap rap.
Can you do that again?
No, I cannot.
Beep beep. Oh man. Okay, so she asked about where they can be in the house, and the officer tells her anywhere but not upstairs. You said that, and I just repeated it. I think you need to hear. They needed to hear that again. That's like when you get lost and you're driving and you say, "Oh, I just wanted y'all to see this area." Yeah, yeah, right.
Do you ever turn down your radio when you're lost? Like turning down the volume is going to make it clear to find out where you are.
Yes, it helps you see better.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what my dad used to say. Y'all settle down back in that back seat. I don't know where I'm going.
Did you ever tell them about your dad's bad eye?
Okay, this is horrible. So, and we're not laughing at my dad's blind in one eye, but so my dad's blind in one eye. So when me and my brother were kids, we're the smartest people on the planet. We'd be driving down the road and we'd cover up his good eye. We thought it was hilarious. Meanwhile, here's my dad. Because, back then, it wasn't in seat belts or car seats or anything. We jumping around, covering up his good eye, saying, "Daddy, can you see?" Yeah.
So at this point, Zulema comes in and she has a moment for about 2 or 3 minutes where she's pretty upset talking to her daughter. And then at this point, another officer comes in to relieve this officer wearing this body cam, and that was at 6:26 p.m. because they told the time of the handoff.
And again, I'm saying, cops are going to have horrible kidneys when they get older.
Well, that one woman, she talks about the female cop that comes on. He asked if she needs anything before he goes, and she said, "Well, I'll get my water because I'm going to be parched standing here for hours." And she knew at this point it takes forever to get search warrants. And so she knew, she said that she was on duty from, I think, 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. So she didn't know how long she was going to have to stand there. And she stood up the entire time.
I almost think that, I think they need to have a porta potty everywhere they go. That's crazy because you can't use the bathroom in the house. That's a no-no.
Yeah, I know.
That happened on CSI one time. Greg, I think, used the bathroom in the crime scene area. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. What was, I just lost his name. I was going to call his name. Grissom, he was not happy with Greg.
Yeah, I bet not.
Yeah.
So when this video switches, we're on to video 5 on our YouTube. This is part 1 of video 5. It was extremely long. I think this one was around 5.5 hours. So I had to cut it in half. This part is 1 hour, 17 minutes. And it just picks right up.
Dude, I owe you a steak dinner.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Oh, you owe me some hearing aids.
You're going to need some eardrops or something to help with your ears. They're going to be irritated.
Yeah, it was tedious, but I mean, but when you do that and you find these little nuggets that I found today, it's worth it.
Don't go to the doctor.
Oh.
Have you ever had your ears sprayed at the doctor?
I have not.
Dude, it is the most painful.
Why do you have your ears sprayed?
Well, if you got some wax build up or something, they'll spray it. But they use this tube. I'm telling you, it's just painful. What I'm about to tell you, it's actually a funny story, but so they put these things down your ears.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and it's like a sprayer, and it's got a nozzle. Well, they spray your eardrum.
Oh, that makes my jaw hurt just thinking about it.
It is the worst pain ever.
Oh my goodness.
I was in the doctor's office, and the girl who was doing it, I'm friends with. Well, I'm like, I'm pretty high tolerance for pain. And she's spraying my eardrum. Well, I'm like coming off the table.
Oh my goodness, no! I would pass.
Well, I look at her and I'm like, that hurts. And she goes, oh, sit down and shut up, you big baby. Well, there was an intern in the room, and the intern is mortified.
Oh my gosh.
She's like looking like, I can't believe you talked to this patient this way.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but she's finally told her, oh, I know her. It's okay.
Yeah.
And the little girl was like, oh, yeah. So don't go get your ears cleaned out. It's painful. Sorry, that was ADD. Okay, getting back on it here.
I'm sorry, I'm holding back a sneeze.
You about to sneeze?
Pollen,
Okay.
y'all. The southern snows got me this year.
It's like yellow. When you were a kid and you banged out erasers at school, this is what it's like around here. Your
It's
car's yellow.
everything.
Yeah.
My dog's fur is yellow.
Oh yeah, you can pet your dog and like just kind of pound on him a little bit and it'll puff like yellow.
Okay, so my dad called this morning. He called to ask me something, and I couldn't even get the full conversation out. I was every 3 words. I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna hoochie. I think I'm gonna get some hoochie." And finally, he was dying laughing, and he said, "Just call me back when you're not sneezing your full head off." It's bad, y'all. Sorry, I just my sinuses started burning, but I wished it away, so we're good. If I blow one out, I apologize.
You gotta say cow 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 or something. It distracts you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Ow!
So she
Sorry,
hit her knee.
it's a new table. I don't know my limits, y'all.
Yeah, it is.
So we hear Megan, which is Zulima's daughter, talk to Kara about getting food for them. And I can tell you her order, which was a double cheeseburger, no mustard, and a Dr. Pepper.
Dude, I love mustard.
I love mustard too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So at 12 minutes and 45 seconds into this video, Zulima comes in and she's crying. And she's talking about Alex being winded for a few days. And she says he could sit for hours and he would get up as soon as he would get up, he was winded. Now, this is what was interesting to me. She said that Alex said, I can't play with the kids for more than 5 minutes before I get winded. And she told him to go to the doctor, but he wouldn't go. So she tried to get him to go to an urgent care that was close, and he wouldn't go there either. So I'm wondering, maybe does Zulima's daughters have children?
I guess. That'd be the only ones I would think.
That's all I could think, because, we know what he did to JJ and Tylee, so...
Yeah,
it has to be her. And I had a thought with this, and this may not be very popular, but I thought maybe Zulima really just knew nothing about JJ and Tylee, because I don't think she would let Alex play with her grandkids if she knew he had murdered 2 children.
I wouldn't think, but
that's just kind of my that was just where my mind went first.
Yeah.
I think she knows a lot, and that's
Yeah.
why she's going to be the star witness, and she has immunity. But
yeah,
that's the only kids that I can figure that he would have been playing with a couple of days prior to his death.
yeah. My holdout is I hope he told her a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But that is a good point.
Well, for her to get immunity, clearly she has something that's very beneficial to the prosecution. That's why I think she has been smart enough, and I'll say smart enough, to not go on any media tour, no interviews, that kind of thing.
She didn't do the Melanie Pulowski train wreck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
That was
was
a
bad.
whole mess.
Ugly.
Yeah.
That's my favorite quote from Little Rascals.
Little
The
Rascals.
movie. Yeah, the movie.
That's quotable too.
Ugly.
You are the scum between my toes.
You make me want to vomit.
That's not sand, that's kitty litter. Okay, y'all. Sorry. It's late because Fruit Loop had somewhere to be. It's past my bedtime.
It
So-
really is. I'm surprised you're still up.
I'm getting silly. I'm getting tired. So let's keep going.
Yeah. So she talks about going somewhere the previous Fridays and says that the day he was playing with the kids and complaining about getting winded, then she jumps into coming into the bathroom to do compressions. She says his body was not cold yet.
Yeah. And then she says a detective took her out of the room and wouldn't let her go back in there. And then so Zulima's son-in-law is talking about how Alex was healthy and young and didn't have bad habits that would have contributed to this. Because at this point, it seems like Zulima was sort of preliminarily told it was his heart, although his cause of death was blood clots in the arteries of the lungs, or
It was something
going
in
into
the
the
lungs.
lungs.
Yeah.
And then she said she did ask what the cause of death was, and they couldn't tell her. And she says it's a mystery. And her son-in-law says it's just something that happened. And he said there must have been signs, but they didn't know the signs. And he said he didn't know he asked her when was the last time Alex had his heart checked, and she wasn't sure. So he talks about them giving moral support to Zulema. And I think he mentioned something about getting her some support in the church from a bishop. But I couldn't hear completely. I mean, what was said after was too muffled for me to hear, but I'm pretty sure I heard something about a bishop.
Gotcha.
Now, this next part, this is one of the nuggets that I found. Now, this could be knowledge to everybody, but I didn't know it. So they're talking about Alex's wishes. What would he want? And she says, this is something we never talked about. And she says, does he want to be buried? Does he want to be cremated? Does he want his family there? And she says he doesn't like his family, so does he not want the family there? Or does he want the family there? I don't know. If you want to listen for yourself, this is on video 5 part 1 at 26 minutes. I would be safe and go back to 25 minutes if you want to plug yourself in and hear. But it sounded definitely like I didn't miss that. So I found that odd. And then Zulema is talking about the family being weird. She said they're weird people.
Wow.
So, and then I couldn't tell if she said Alex said they're weird or they're weird. But I don't think Zulema had met the mom, the dad, Summer.
No, I mean, we know they weren't at the wedding.
No.
And they didn't even know he was married. They said that on one of those interviews they did.
Right. So clearly Alex had talked to her about his family and how, according to Zulema, he didn't like them.
Yeah. And this is coming from somebody who was
married to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what happens?
So Zulema says she's got to call his niece Melanie to let her know. And her daughter says, you haven't talked to her. And she said no. And someone asked if she's in Arizona or Idaho. And Zulema says Idaho.
Yeah. So she calls who I'm pretty sure is Melanie. You can almost hear the tone of her voice from across the room. I think she might have been talking very loud. And Melanie asks if she's okay. And Zulema says, no, I'm not okay. Alex passed away. And so you kind of have a break where you hear what you could assume to be, what happened? And Zulema said he was complaining of shortness of breath, and he wouldn't let her take him to the doctor. And she says she then recounts that she got a text that he wasn't feeling good. She calls Joseph, tells him to call 911. She says they took him to the hospital and they did compressions and gave him shots, which was the epinephrine. They gave him a ton.
Yeah.
We said 13, I believe. 13 doses of epinephrine. And she said he didn't come back. And so she tells her that the police are still there because they're getting a warrant. And she says, I don't understand it.
Well, there's a death in your home.
Right.
Oh, man. So she says she talked to him on her way home and he was having a hard time talking. And she says her and Alex never spoke about anything like this. She says they were going to call her the next day about when they could release the body to her. She says after that, she doesn't know what to do. Do we contact anyone else in his family?
Yeah. And at least at this point, you have Melanie who can spread the news to everybody else.
Well, obviously, Lori and Chad knew because they're the ones that initiated the call.
Yeah, and some of the muffled stuff, I really am going to work with this tomorrow because I would like to hear if at any point they talked about Chad and Lori and letting them know. Now, it could be that Melanie said, well, I'll call Lori, but I could have swore at some point Zulema said in the past that she tried to text Lori, but that number was disconnected. I think that
one of the 50, whatever it was,
one of her
30, whatever it was, burner phones.
When Tylee says she looked like a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Kresha, which is JJ's aunt, she's posted some cute videos of JJ and Tylee on her YouTube. I'm going to tweet out her YouTube page. She has a lot of personal pictures of them.
Yeah.
And it's great. And the one that she posted, and I've seen it, which is where apparently Kay and Larry had sent JJ kind of a little gag gift, which is a potty.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
And Charles is talking to him. You don't see Charles, I don't think, on camera, but Charles asks him, what's that? Is it, I forget the name. It's like a naughty potty or something like that. And JJ gives the slyest, cutest little grin.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But that's a good YouTube to follow if you want to see, some personal things from their family that they're sharing. And we love talking to her too. She's just a sweet girl.
Yep. So Zulema recounts how Joseph found him. She then says Chad was giving him a blessing.
Yeah, she said that twice.
Yeah.
On the phone there.
She says she will probably know more after tomorrow. Melanie talks for a while, and then Zulema says, yeah, I'll call you. She then says again, this is something we didn't talk about.
Yeah, and then her children apparently asked how she's doing in the middle of all this, and then she asked Melanie something about the baby, because remember at this time I think she was already pregnant.
Yep.
With her fifth baby, Ian's baby.
Yep.
So she says, according to Melanie, he would want something simple. She said you would never know he had money or that he made enough money because he was so simple. And then the simpler, the better. And he didn't like all the hoopla, so he would probably want to be cremated, which he eventually was. And nothing excessive or extravagant. And Melanie says she's going to come down. So Zulema didn't know what day it was, and it was Thursday. This was December the 12th. If you remember, Tammy Daybell had been exhumed the day before.
Yep.
And she says she was going to get on the next flight out, which would have been a Saturday. And Zulema said, well, she can drive, but it's 16 hours. And then something about Christmas is mentioned. Didn't quite catch it. And that ends that body cam footage.
That's some good little nuggets there.
Well, yeah, I had never heard that he wasn't fond of his family.
No.
They always seemed close in pictures to me and videos. I mean, that stuff never is an accurate representation of families.
Yeah.
We can all pose and look happy even if we're mad sometimes. But no, according to Zulema, he thought he didn't like his family. So enough to where I guess he expressed to her enough distaste for them that she would question contacting them about his death.
Yeah.
Or including them in what to do with his remains.
It's sad, dude.
It is sad, but that was kind of huge to me. I mean, I almost wonder if Alex and Lori, in the grand scheme of the family, weren't sort of the outcast weirdos because they palled around all the time.
Yeah.
Did Lori not really care for her family? Who knows? That's interesting stuff, though. I just never heard that, and
No.
she was very adamant that he didn't like his family.
Wow.
And he said something about having 6 siblings. She said something about he had 6 siblings, and I don't know. We know he worshipped one of those.
Yeah, really. Followed her everywhere.
Okay, so we're switching to what, Fruit Loop?
Body cam footage 5, part 2.
Yep.
So someone asked for any news yet on the search warrant, and the officer says not yet. They ask how long this will take, and the officer says these things take a while. It depends on how busy the judge is and other factors.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, they're in the background chatting. It's kind of muffled, so we weren't able to make most of it out. Or I should say you weren't able to make most of it out.
Well, that's okay. We're a team. So this last piece, this is the last bit we have for tonight because it was hard to do. So I just want to explain. I think, from what I can gather from this, Alex must have bought Zulema and her daughters matching purses. And so one of the daughters asks for their purse. And the other daughter says, do we all have matching purses? And someone says yes. And then, what color did you get? And the other person says red. And then there was some confusion about whose was whose. And then someone says, thanks, Alex. Like they're thanking him for getting the purses. And one of the daughters said, this is so cool. And then she says something about Alex being a high roller. So I'm thinking maybe these were some designer expensive purses, but I'm thinking he probably got them in Mexico. So that's just my thought.
Just a thought.
I got like a Gucci purse and a Coach purse. And I think I paid $20.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he might be a high roller to them, but there's no coincidence he was in Mexico,
Yeah.
right before. Because you get that stuff. I eat it up. I love shopping in Mexico. I love it.
I ain't never been there.
I love Mexico.
I've been on the border.
No,
I ain't never been there.
I've been in Mexico, And it is, I like to vacation there. I'd love to be on the beach right now. But
Okay.
I do love the shopping because you get all these cool knickknacks for your house.
So, that's about like Chinatown in New York.
Oh, yeah. It is. Well, yeah. It's Chinatown. I would leave with 6-7 bags full.
Oh no, Chinatown. We got escorted to a room and said the cops come jump out the window.
Oh, yeah. I did too. I bought these shoes.
I was on a mission trip.
Oh, praise Jesus. Not what Jesus would do in the city.
Yeah, it was weird.
It
was
is
very weird.
that, they hang out on the corner. I was up in New York every other week for what, like 4 years, every other weekend,
Yeah.
just about. And so you knew if these guys are standing out on the corner and tell you to come in, you're going to go down some stairs into a basement, and then it's kind of like Candyland.
It was
women.
like Gucci.
Yeah, it was
Gucci.
great.
Like you walk by and they're saying this as they walk
Right,
by.
yeah, Gucci, Jimmy Choo. I mean, they call out all the designers, and then they kind of nod their head. They're all really sweet people.
Oh, they were nice.
I love talking to the people in Chinatown.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, we were on the corner. We were waiting. I don't even know why we were standing there, and there was like this cart that had like bracelets and necklaces.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they walk up to us, and there's cops standing on the corner above them, and the guy goes, "You want Oakleys?"
Yeah.
And one of our guys is like, "You got Oakleys?" And he's like,
They're
"Sure.
They're Folkleys
Come here."
because they're fake.
So we go over there, and he pulls back like belts and jewelry, and it's like a whole stack of, like, he's hiding behind that stuff.
Well, the thing is, like in Times Square, they would have all these carts, and they just have sheets or blankets over them.
Yeah.
And
If the cops come, they swoop them up.
Well, no. I mean, the cops look the other way. They can't regulate that. I mean, they're not supposed to display it, or they're not supposed to do it. But in New York, you know how New York is. They can't go busting all these guys in Times Square.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I did see Elmo get in a fight one time in Times Square.
Oh, yeah. All the characters.
With SpongeBob.
That's funny.
I have my money on SpongeBob.
That's funny. I'd have bet on Elmo.
He won.
Yeah, there you go. See?
They were on the ground pounding each other. It was great.
That's funny.
All the kids were like, "Oh my gosh,
That's funny.
Mommy, is SpongeBob gonna be okay?"
So, real quick, getting back to this. So it's a little inappropriate, don't you think, to be saying thanks, Alex? I mean, we know from what other people said that Zulima's daughter moved out when Alex moved in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole situation's not normal, so there's nothing normal expected to come out of it. But those little things right there, it gives us something to ponder.
Yes, a lot to ponder.
Yeah, there's a ton to ponder.
I appreciate you taking the hit. See, this is getting back for me having to read Chad's books.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
I will read 5 of Chad's books. Instead of, I'm going to finish this out for you guys.
You better watch out. They're going to hold you to it.
But like, I need to go to an ear spa where they massage your eardrums or something. Not blow air in. I need something with my ears. Oh, but it's interesting. I mean, I like finding these little nuggets. It's kind of like going on a treasure hunt.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to 7 hours worth and that's good.
Half the time it's, "Hello, my name is Zulima." It's like very muffled, and you can't, but then you pick up on stuff, and then you kind of can anticipate what's coming. And then I found that way, if I kind of think ahead, it makes it a little easier.
Sure.
But yeah, so we will have another one for you guys on Wednesday. You're going out of town Thursday to Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be back Sunday.
Yeah, so we won't miss anything. And we shouldn't be late with any episodes. It's just with the new equipment coming in on a daily basis. And then yesterday, my son turned 14.
Oh, you old.
I know. Your mama's old too, but still, I'm going to let you have that one.
I'm going to tell her, what is that, the 42-minute mark? You need to listen to what Hoopty says about you. Yeah.
Your mama's old.
Yeah.
We always insult each other's mamas and daddies. That's just what we do. We did it when we were 14.
Yeah.
And we're still doing it at 44.
What's funny is when you do it and they're in front of you.
Oh, we do it in front of them.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, and then they'll laugh. So it's
Yeah.
just a goofy thing we do.
Yeah.
But So I think, so my son turned 14. He's got 1 year until he can drive. He's so excited. I think he'll drive before my daughter, who actually can. She's too nervous.
She is nervous.
Very nervous. And that's okay. I'm not going to push her if she's nervous. Although it would be nice if before August she could get on it so that I don't have to run her and her brother to school.
We were talking about it. She said, I don't understand why they have these mailboxes so close to the road. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So let's see. We will cover the status conference on Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern. So I'll live tweet that if it doesn't go into a breakout session. I don't really know why it would if Lori's not arguing anything.
If it does, oh my goodness,
I got to find something new to count on that seal.
I think we need to be invited in the breakout room.
I think we need to be invited in the prosecutor's office and help them get this stuff together.
I'm game. I will go through files.
Rob Wood. Paging Rob Wood. Yeah, so I think that's it for tonight, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Hope you have a good one.
Good night.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.